Yo, 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 it's Miss Gray here, and now I feel guided to talk about this concept of your spells always manifest, always. Because, I've noticed that a lot of us have questions like how fast does a spell um, become fruitful? Like the timeline of the result of the spell. And I'm here to tell you that your spells manifest every time. The thing is, time itself is not linear, and it's interesting because I've now understood that I'm very connected to the concept of time, and that's something that my higher self, my guides, whomever, really kind of wants me to tap into more and discover ideas and thoughts about time and how that, has an impact on our lives and magic and whatnot. So, you know, let's say this. Let's say you wanna do a spell where, or you are doing a spell, crafting a spell where you are inviting a specific person in your life. Perhaps you want a mentor in your life or a lover, and now you do the spell and you wait and you're like, well, when is this person gonna come into my life? Now, here's the interesting thing. The you that is the result of that spell actually might manifest to your 15-year-old self. The result of that spell might manifest to your 30-year-old self, to your 20-year-old self. It doesn't matter depending on your age, Let's say you are making this spell in your 20s. Now the result of that spell where you are asking a specific person, attracting a specific person into your life, whether you are wanting a lover, a mentor, whomever, the result of that spell actually might happen to your 15-year-old self, to your 40-year-old self, to your 30-year-old self, to your 25-year-old self. Because in the eyes of the universe and in the eyes of the you that is the highest form of you, there is no 15-year-old self, there is no 20-year-old you, there is no 30, 40, 50, 60, 80-year-old you. There is no you that has had past lives even, because all of those things are happening at the same time. It's just because we are living in this incarnation that sees time as something that is compartmentalized, which is changing, but so this is only your mind's idea of time. So to the eyes of you, to the universe, this spell is it always manifests, and it manifests to you always at the right time, divine timing, because it may be that your 15-year-old self actually needs the mentor, the lover in your life more than your current you actually needs it. And let's say you're 15 and you're in a situation where you actually need a mentor or a lover in your life, but you don't realize that that's what you actually need in order to repel you. Is that the word, repel? In order to guide you to the path that you are currently in. So it's that inner voice. We can even think about this concept in a way where your inner voice is your spell speaking to you beyond different dimensions. So let's say you're 15 and you just have this inkling, you're like, whatever your situation is, and you have this inner voice that tells you to go to the library, or tells you to go to a party, or to a specific job, or start a hobby or whatever. And in that hobby or job or party, you actually meet the mentor or the lover that now is an important factor in your life path. And the little inkling in your head that tells you to walk and go to specific way, to a specific place, that is you. That is the current you that is talking to your 15-year-old self, maybe in a form of that spell that you are making in your 20s to invoke that specific person into your life. Now that's the voice that you, that's you speaking to your 15-year-old self. And now you understand what I mean, like it's all interconnected. And this is why the sentence, when you heal yourself, you heal your ancestors, because there is no separation between you, your ancestors, the you that was a goddess or a god, or a prince or a princess, or a warrior in ancient Kemet, Lemuria. There is no separation. You are currently that person, but it's just that there is all of these aspects of you living simultaneously. You are, at this moment, you are in a womb. You are 90, you are 20, you are 30, you are 15. Time is just a concept. This is just the gravitas of, spell work that it has. It's amazing. So, really think about how you actually script your spells, because they do manifest every single time. And it gets really trippy when you start to, look certain events in your life and kind of mirror them perhaps to some of the spells you have done right now, and how the results of those spells that you have done right now actually might have manifested for you when you were younger, or they might come about when you're older, or currently, or those spells might have had an impact in your past lives even. So, this is also, I feel, very profound, because it sort of makes you look at the bigger picture. Like, it's disarming to the ego, because the ego thinks, I want everything right now, right this moment, like only, it's almost like only this moment matters. And it's true in a way, because the presence is where you feel you currently exist, but your past is also important. Your ancestry is also important, which I think this mindset makes you realize when you really tap into it. It can also help you to become friends with your past, because it makes you understand that truly every event and person in your life has been invited by you. That's why it's those moments when sometimes just later on you have these moments of clarity where you realize that, oh, this is why certain event or person had to be part of my life, and you don't understand it in the moment, because sometimes it's almost protection. Because if you would because it's the journey is important, the journey of you trying to realize why certain things took place is as important as the event itself, even more important, let's say. So just know that. So let's say you want to script a spell where you perhaps want to alter your appearance. Now, we all know that, like internally we know that it's never about actually the way you look, because the way you look is actually more correlated to the way you feel. So the way you feel about yourself is the way you see yourself. So let's say you wanna change your appearance to you wanna gain weight, you wanna gain muscle, you wanna lose weight, you want bigger boobs, you want smaller boobs, you want more hair, you want this and that. These things, because sometimes what you want, you think you want something, but what you actually really want is you want to feel certain way. There's a feeling connected to all of those things. Let's say you want to gain or lose weight. There's this sentiment that once you gain or lose the weight, you're gonna feel some type of way. So what I would suggest, the idea I would present to you would be that instead of asking or scripting the spell, in this case having to do with changing your appearance or altering your appearance, I would suggest, that's a tough one to say, that you more so ask a specific feeling. You ask that when you look in the mirror, you wanna be fulfilled with this overflowing feeling of complete love towards your body and acceptance toward your body. You want to write that when you look in the mirror, you see yourself as you always really wanted to see yourself, through the eyes of acceptance. Because the ego mind tends to go, whether you have all these things that you think you want, the ego tends to always want more, which can be a good thing in a way where ego is also very creative. So the creative mind wants to create all the time, and that is good as well, because ego is not all bad. But in this case, like I said, in order to have more I would say lasting results, you wanna always, in my opinion, you want to always focus on the feeling. Because now what happens is, I have an example. When I was younger, I had a huge ass. Like, my butt was big, for girl of my age, and I also had like really thick thighs, which I still have quite big ass and thick thighs. But back then, it was more in fashion to be like a skinny mini, like kind of like a Kate Moss type of body type, and also I idolized Audrey Hepburn. I still do, although I don't like the word idol, but I just find Audrey to be just like her spirit even is just something that like she's just ethereal to me. But nonetheless, I used to always watch her films, and I would just imagine how I would look if I had her body, because I loved the clothes she was wearing. I felt like she was really feminine and almost like this fairy like creature, and I was more like this, which I still am. But something then happened throughout my lifespan where I really did lose a lot of weight. Like I became super skinny. I still had ass and thighs, but I was quite skinny. And just when that happened, it's just so happened that now it started to become more in fashion to be curvy. Like we had this, this certain body type, the thicker the better, became, in style. And now I started to almost long for my, like I wanted again even bigger ass and thicker thighs. So what I'm trying to tell you is there's all these different timelines we go through. So let's say you are asking a specific appearance right now, but what happens when the spell might not manifest linearly is you always get what you want, but that's not always what you need or what you actually want, because there's so many factors that can kind of manipulate your mind to think that you want certain things. But what do you actually want? You have to be very sort of cognizant about what thoughts are actually your own, or how much your thoughts are influenced by outside sources or peer pressure, or so again, I'm just saying that my suggestion is that if you wanna alter your appearance, remember that there is a feeling connected to that. You actually wanna feel a way, and you can feel that feeling no matter what your body type is. The appearance is not the thing that will bring you the feeling that you think the appearance will bring you. Do you understand? So always focus on, in my opinion, of course you can do whatever you want, because remember, you always get what you want. But sometimes, not all the times, sometimes it is what you actually want and need, and etc. There are those like moments of serendipity, but often it's quite something different. So remember that. The same comes, let's say you want a specific person in your life. What you actually probably want when you say you want love in your life, but you should have love in your life whether or not you have a person in your life or not. You want to perhaps feel safe. You want companionship. Because sometimes we think we want a relationship, which of course all of us probably want to have some sort of family, whether that means you have kids, no kids, whatever. But we want that feeling of companionship, security, like abundance even, because I correlate the feeling of family and a good loving relationship to the idea of abundance. That is abundance, So again, you perhaps more so than scripting things like I want a relationship and the person has to be like this and this and this. Those usually are things that your ego is telling you you want based on some idea that might not it could, but it might not actually bring you to the feeling that you want. Actually, when you think that you want a relationship, it's a feeling that you actually want. Do you understand what I mean? So my suggestion is that when you're scripting spells, try to always tap into the feeling. What is the feeling behind the idea that you are trying to invoke into your life? The same way with money. Money is linked to the feeling of security, or perhaps you wanna help people, or the feeling of being free. Now, of course, you wanna feel free, even though you have cash or not. So again, try to think how you feel when you feel you have wealth. And I think that also the idea of money and wealth somehow is connected to the idea of health as well, specifically also mentally. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the idea of freedom. But you want to be able to provide, you want to be independence has to do with money. Perhaps you think you want money, or you want money, it has something to do with food, with your home, where you want to live, travel. So sometimes, even more so than scripting, I want 2,000 euros, dollars, pesos, whatever in my liras in my bank account. Try to maybe again script the things that how money would make you feel like you want freedom, or you feel free, because it does make sense to script things in a form where you actually have them in a form of gratitude. So you might want to script things in a form of like, I'm free, I travel, I enjoy and embrace and breathe different cultures, I'm exposed to different cultures, I saw all these countries that I've always wanted to see. My God, it's unbelievable that I got to travel to these places, these distant places that I used to only dream of, and now I've actually been there. I have a home that brings me so much enjoyment. I have all these resources to decorate things, decorate my home in a way that I want, and things of this nature. Because this is not about, there's nothing bad about wanting material things, or wanting a relationship or love or a specific person. And by all means, script the spells however you want. My point just is that your spells always manifest, and what usually you actually want is a specific feeling. It's not so much the thing, it's the feeling that your soul is longing for. So just something to think about. And today just happens to be the 8-8 portal, which, you guys, I can just feel the energy of this portal. Like, it feels magical, honestly. There's just something in the air right now where it's, I don't know, because it's the Leo portal, Lion's Gate. So maybe that has something to do with it. Like, that Leo energy is very, like, sort of in your face, very tangible in a way. But I think this is, if you happen to see this in the time of the 8-8 portal, this is an amazing time to truly do some scripting and just surrender actually to the magic that is already in the air. And I just want to kind of sum this up by saying, remember that there is no separation between the you that is in the womb, the you that is here, the you that was the ancient god or goddess in Kemet or Lemuria. There is no separation between you and the 15-year-old self, 10-year-old self, or the you in the future. It's all happening at the same time, and I just feel that this might give you some perspective on your life actually, and perhaps give you some peace even. So you know, I'm trying to think if there's something else I want to say. I'm surely there is, but perhaps I'll be back with this, continuing this topic. But truly, excuse me for speaking with some apple in my mouth. Truly, from my heart to all of you who see this, just think about what this might mean, because it gets really interesting when you start to think about all the spells and wishes that you have crafted throughout your lives, and how the results of those spells actually might have manifested in different times in your life, although time is a concept. But namaste, oneness always, oneness, peace, love, and I'll be back. Bye.